at 6:08. And stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And a roll call, please.
Peter Levitt.
Pam McLeod.
Karen Curry-Tonoff.
Pam Stiles.
John MacArthur.
Wendy DeWallaby.
And agenda review. Any changes, comments?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And minutes from December 9th?
I'm not sure, I wasn't here, right?
Right.
Right.
So we can't move.
But legally, if you reviewed them,
Yeah.
you can vote on them.
Oh, did we
Correct.
figure that out?
That is right.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Mhm.
I'd be happy to review them
So
real quick.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of December 9th, 2019.
I'll second. I do have one change. Page 3, line 10. I just, instead of question, because it sounds like I don't like social emotional hours, and that's not true, just inquired about the total financial impact of social emotional hours. That's it. Any more discussion?
No. But the packet is, the format, are you seeing strange? No, you've got the PDF.
Yeah, it's PDF.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you guys, I can't seem to get it together tonight. Oh, I see, there's two versions there.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed unanimous. And we will open up public input. Seeing none, we will close public input and move on to informational items. And first up is financials.
If you haven't all met Wendy DeWallaby, she's providing our
Hi, Wendy.
Hello.
services for
Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you.
business, and it's been nice to have her in the office.
Thank you.
You have the expenditure report for the last month, so if you have any questions, we're happy to answer those for you.
I had one question about page 11, electrical repairs, which is about the middle of the page. The current spending for this period was about 3,000, and I was just curious, was that a significant issue or a planned issue?
I don't know, but we've got also $1,800 encumbered. And I know that we did put in some cameras very recently. Don't know if some of that might be for the electrical. We'll certainly drill down on that and find out for you.
Okay. Thank you.
There are also some, can I say?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
I know that in the science lab, there were some broken fixtures that ended up, we replaced with LED. So it could, I'm not positive, but it could have been that as well as
Okay.
what Pam was talking about.
Excellent.
Any other comments, questions? We won't put Wendy on the hot seat yet, so we'll move on.
Great.
Enrollments.
Not much change from last month.
I did
see that Alton jumped ahead of Barnstead again on prospect numbers.
Yeah.
Right. And reports. So first thing is deliberative session, February 1st, the plan.
So you have in your packets the different articles, and it's customary at this meeting that we go through and decide who is going to make the motion for each article and who will second it. And I've prepared summary sheets for each of the articles so that if you're the person speaking to it, you'll have some background information, and I'll give that to whomever is going to speak to it. So generally for Article 2, I'll do a state of the school, and then I usually do a very broad overview of the budget. But we'll need to know who's going to speak to it if there are questions, and who will make the motion and then second it.
I'll move the budget since I was at the budget meetings with you.
Mm-hmm. So I'll give you that summary.
I'll take the collective bargaining agreement.
Okay. This is for the default, if there's questions about default. For
Mhm.
Article 2, Pam, that's for collective bargaining.
And then I'll take 4 as well.
Okay, and there'll be no action needed on
Okay.
that.
Peter, you want 5?
I was gonna say, should Everett have 5, or you're not gonna be there?
I'm sorry?
Should Everett do 5? Because he was,
Oh, buildings and grounds
Oh,
for
he
cafeteria.
was more, he was at more of them. He didn't
Sure.
do as many as
okay, we'll hold that one for Everett.
I'll take 6.
All right.
You try to stop me on technology thanks. Shall we give
I
Everett
can
buildings
do-
and grounds also? Or do you want it?
It doesn't matter. I'll do 7, I'll do 8, I'll do 9. Doesn't matter.
You get to pick, Peter.
I get to pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do 8 and make my wife happy.
Okay, that's for Peter.
We should definitely do 9, too.
I can do 9, yep.
And we'll give Everett 7.
And then we'll need the second for who will second all of these.
Why don't we just alternate? So I thought Pam seconds mine, I'll second hers. Peter can second Everett. I'll second Pam again. Peter can second Everett. Everett can second Peter.
And we'll have packets made up for you, so all of this will be in there, so you'll know who's doing what. I'll probably put another copy of your summary just in case. And if you read these over and you need anything else, please let me know and I'll have it prepared for you.
One thought I had about the cafeteria upgrade is, I was wondering if it might be useful to have an open house at some point where people in the community could come in and look at the current cafeteria, because I think a lot of people probably haven't been in there either ever or for a while, and to understand the limited space that we do have.
Sure.
And probably, I don't know if that is better after deliberative session, in between voting and deliberative,
Could
since there's
be.
not much
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I would think so.
Sure. And in my presentation, I have pictures of the cafeteria right now.
Okay,
So
great.
people can see that at deliberative as well.
So maybe if there's a lot of conversation about it or questions, it
Sure.
would make sense to do the open house.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great.
Correspondence, we have budget committee minutes, which, unless anybody has anything to talk about, we will move past them since Chrissy was at the meetings. I think the only thing of note is that all of the warrant articles were, and the budget was approved unanimously
They were.
by the budget committee.
They were.
The warrant articles weren't unanimous, but the budget was.
They weren't?
Our warrant articles were passed.
Ours were,
Yes.
the town ones were not.
Oh, yeah.
They were
ours-
passed, but they were not, they were far from unanimous.
Oh
Okay.
gosh, there's so many of them.
I know. They were-
The budget public hearing is Wednesday night, this Wednesday night at 6:30.
Are you alternate, Peter? Are you going to that?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, that's really bad. Not really the alternate anymore.
No?
All right.
No, you are it.
I'm it.
You're it. Buildings and grounds minutes?
So this was the meeting that we had last week, and we had a guest, Matt Degatti, who presented to us some possibilities for alternative energy for our electric use. And the committee did suggest that we go forward with this. It'll be a savings for us of about $2,500 a year, but there'll also be an educational component that we're writing into the contract so that our kids can see solar usage, can see things that are stored in real time. So we'll have a monitoring things right here at the school.
That's very cool.
We do have one item, number 5, the property at 41 Pine Street, but we'll be discussing that in non-public at the end of the meeting.
Okay, extra earn report is informational.
And for the extra earn, just a couple things that literally came in today that you don't have on your sheet. Cara Bianchi is down for coloring, but her topic changed. Added to the list was Sandy Flanagan, Sarah Gilmet, and Cara Bianchi for ELT and for an after-school activity. And Erin Dixon, who is on your list for Drums Alive, has withdrawn because no one signed up for it. So just a couple minor changes.
Did we get much response to the newspaper ad about looking for community
We,
members to?
we did not, we had one, and she is doing the arts and crafts. She's doing arts and crafts, Deanna,
Mhm.
okay, who's going to be doing it for us.
Great.
So Shay and I have talked about that, and she's going to continue to put that ad in, and hopefully we can maybe have 2 next time.
Do we need to fix the spelling? I just noticed your name is.
Okay, superintendent's report.
All right. Well, we have done a lot of pre-work for our after-school childcare program, and its first day was actually today. We thought we'd have all kinds of registrations. We have 5 children who are coming. To start off with, it is mid-year, and so we knew it would be a little bit slow start, but we're hoping that we'll have more registrations as time goes on.
Yeah, I hope so.
But it's here, and it's staffed, and we are up and running, so we're off. I did mention here about the after-school program, and we do have that one community member offering. I mentioned under here about the paraeducator meetings. We started them last year, and Pam McDonald has picked right up on them, getting some very positive feedback from our paras about their ability to share ideas, to generate their own agendas, to talk about their expertise. It's a real nice way to uplift this support group that make a tremendous difference in this building. So they're really enjoying that. We did send a letter home to parents letting them know about the change in the school day next year, just so that they'll have lots of pre-notice. And, I'm sorry.
Can I just ask a quick question
Of
about
course.
that, of clarification?
Yep.
If for some reason the teacher's contract does not pass, would we be forced to go back to the
No.
old? No? Okay.
We have a side letter of agreement I have signed from the
Sidebar.
ATA president,
Okay.
which has said that if the contract does not go through, we will strike that section. And I have that letter signed.
Excellent. Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yeah, I met with him a few weeks ago. And then just finally wanted to give a thank you to Laurie Eckberg, who's our social worker. She did a presentation on suicide prevention for the staff. And it can be it's a very sensitive subject. She did a great job. We are mandated to do that starting July 1. It's a 2-hour training for all staff. And she's going to be doing that for us, but she did a really excellent job. Just wanted to thank her for that, and Happy New Year.
Principals report.
My report is pretty much as noted. We are at the halfway point for the ski program. Happy to report it's been going very smoothly under the new folks that are running it. Krista and Katie are super organized, and even when we had a bus breakdown, we're right out front out there. We had a plan, we had everything set, and all the kids skied. So halfway point, we're good. Katie did injure herself. She swears she's coming back. She was in for an MRI today.
Oh, no.
It was not with our kids. She went snowboarding another day. But she's assuring us she's going to come back. Krista has already assured me no matter what, she's fine. We got this covered. So the staff has been wonderful. The kids have been great, and it's really been a great experience this year so far. So thank you.
Buildings and grounds. Second report.
Just a regular list, and we did have some boiler work done over the Christmas break. They were able to get it done that week, and we are all up to compliance.
He had a training on blood-borne pathogens I'm seeing here that I know went very well with the company that came in and did it. And then the other thing, they had done one side of the stairwell going up next to the stage. They also did the other side. It's looking so much better than what was there. And another thing Sean did is he refinished the stage over break, and it looks awesome. It's been, instead of being beat up, and they filled in all the cracks, and we have a black stage. It looks awesome. Our stage may be little, but we can do a lot more on it now. It's looking great. So they've been working really hard.
Strategic plan update.
Yeah, and for some reason on your printout, the little arrow ended up here. On mine, it didn't. Mine's in the right place.
We'll forgive you.
I don't know why. But just to let you know, the last one that had not yet started has now started. It's the Explore World Language approach. We have started, very cursory, but we have started the conversation about what we want to address, what we might want to look at, and what might be a direction. So we're formulating the committee, and we'll start work on that with gusto. It has started.
Okay, and on to action items. So we need to accept the resignation of Christy Heichel.
I move that we accept the resignation of Christy Heichel with much regret.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And there was an article from the board thanking her for her service
Yeah,
last
saw that.
Thursday.
That was good.
Okay, we need to reaffirm the poll vote taken on 12/13.
And that was the language of the Article 2 and of the articles for special education and buildings and grounds, the up to language that we just amended. The votes were all unanimous, but just wanting to confirm that.
Do we just say yes?
Yes.
Going down the line? Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
all right, thank you.
Okay. Policy GCCBC-FMLA, family and medical leave policy.
Yes, so we currently have a family medical leave policy. However, the state of New Hampshire just passed its own Family Medical Leave Act, being New Hampshire. The attorneys are calling this the baby FMLA part of it, because the easiest way for me to explain this is if you look on the first page under employee eligibility, there is information there about the number of hours that are available. So, let me get it here for you. In the second paragraph, it talks about eligibility, which is the federal FMLA. You have to have worked at least 1,250 hours for 12 months, and so on. New Hampshire just instituted another part of FMLA that's a little bit smaller leave. And this is for employees that have worked at least 12 months, and they've worked at least 900 hours instead of the 1,250. And of course, it's the 12 months before. So there's a smaller number of hour requirement in taking FMLA in New Hampshire than it is for the federal. This policy was taken from the School Board Association's model policy. They've got all the language for the RSA in here. I've stricken what is the old information from our current policy, added in the red, which is part of the School Board Association policy, and I think I added in a blue here, and I just need to find it. That is just some clarification language that made it clearer, and it was in one small place. Thank you. Yes, the business administrator is all I added. Because our policy had the person's name, and we really need to have position.
Right, yeah, the position makes sense.
That's why. So that, in a nutshell, is the reason for bringing this forward. We need to have the current law, and this is it.
So it's more restrictive.
I'm sorry?
It's more restrictive. Am I reading it right?
No,
The
less
state's less
restrictive.
restricted.
Okay.
Less,
Fewer
New Hampshire's
hours.
is less restrictive.
right. That someone doesn't have to work 1,250 hours. They can have worked 900 hours
Okay,
and now can qualify for it.
okay.
And it is concurrent. So, the way the attorney was explaining it was, so I can go out on the New Hampshire FMLA for the 900 hours, and then I can also go the 1,250. If I work more, I can take another extended leave. So I can, in essence, get double the FMLA time.
Double.
Yep. So I'm sure they'll be relooking at this, but this is New
Sounds-
Hampshire's
yeah.
addition to the national FMLA.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
I know.
Like it jives with any other workplace.
No,
Yeah.
New Hampshire.
It looks like in the first sentence, maybe leave needs to be added after and/or for it to read right.
Well, it's
Or-
saying that, so I may be entitled to the national, to the federal FMLA law of 1993, and, so concurrently, or under the New Hampshire RSA 18973. What do
Right,
you
but
want me to insert there?
I just think for it to read right, you need to say and/or leave under RSA.
Okay,
See, I don't think concurrently means it's at the same time.
correct.
So consecutively would be if you worked 900 and then you worked, or you got the 900, then you worked, then you got the 1,250.
Yep,
I'm thinking they're saying that the 900 is included in the 1,250.
that is correct, but I don't have to take just the, I don't have to say I worked 900 hours. I can use the 900, concurrently I'm qualifying under the 1,250, but when I work the more hours and I now qualify for the 1,250, I can also kick that in because I'm using them at the same time. So when one ends, the other one can continue.
For another full 12.
Yes. the-
But it continues for 1,250?
No, it can
Continues
continue
for
for the
that
next
extra
12.
350.
It's like
For the extra
Whatever.
12 weeks.
you can
Okay.
restart your 12 weeks.
Okay.
Correct. Because I'm doing
sounds like
both
a-
at the same time.
Big loophole.
There is, and that's what the
That's
attorneys were
unpaid
saying
leave.
too. It's
I
unpaid
know,
leave.
but still,
Yeah, it
it
is.
doubles what FMLA is intended to be.
It does.
Yeah.
So we will add leave in there. but it is now the law.
And then on the top of page 2, number 2, where it says son or daughter, I just thought child would be consistent with the way it's in every other paragraph. So instead of son or daughter, child.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Got it.
Someone want to move it?
I move that we accept policy, where is it here? GCCBC dash FMLA for first and second reading.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passed
Thank you.
unanimous. Okay, and we have a gift acceptance.
So, like last year, the anonymous donors have decided once again, they had asked me, you know, as part of it, they wanted to see things we were doing with, you know, the donation and just have communication. I have fulfilled that end of it and sent them pictures of everything, like everything from the new logos that have gone up to, you know, the number of ski scholarships or whatever. And they were ecstatic. They wanted to come visit the building. I gave them a tour of our building. They were very happy. And at the end of the tour, we had a conversation and they decided they wanted to do it again. So that's what this letter is here for. It's more this year than last year.
I thought it was, yeah.
And I'm hoping that you accept it. It'll be put to good use again. And
I move we accept the anonymous donation of $7,725. Very generous donation.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passed unanimous, and thank you very much to the donors.
thank you.
Yeah,
Very
I'd love to
generous.
hear all the little things that get done with it as well. I mean, I think it's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay, we will open up the second public input. And seeing none, we will close the second public input. And future agenda items.
I only have one thing to add. In April, we'll be bringing forward the data governance and security policy, which will be new for us. It will be in combination with our HB 1612 mandate. It's EHAB, and we'll bring that forward to you in April.
Okay, any other business? All right, I move that we enter non-public session under 91-A:3(2)D. I need a roll call vote after a second.
Yes.
I need a second first.
Oh, I'll second.
Now roll call vote.
And I'll go yes.
Yes.
Yes. So we're now in non-public. I'm gonna put the snack bag outside the door.
So we're all set?